Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome to the first bonus episode of Hermitcraft Season 6. Now, I like to do these every now and again throughout Hermitcraft seasons where we can just do a bunch of resource gathering. So we can gather up a whole ton of materials. We're running low on pretty much everything. I've got next to no iron, I've got next to no coal, I've got next to no diamonds. All of them have pretty much all run out, to be quite frankly honest with you. So I thought it would be good to just hop in, swap out a redstone video for one of these time-lapsey Hermitcraft episodes so that we can crack on through and we can get ourselves a whole ton of stuff. I mean, I don't know how much we're going to get. Hopefully we get loads upon loads upon loads. So let's get this thing started. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with how the format of a bonus episode works, essentially it works like a longer form time-lapse chat. So we kind of jump into time-lapses, then clips from the Hermitcraft server, then jump back into time-lapses and things. And normally they're a little bit shorter than regular episodes. They never usually replace full episodes. Normally they actually replace redstone videos, and they're just done when I need extra resources because, you know, sometimes you run out of resources in Hermitcraft, and and it's never particularly interesting watching me doing resource gathering in Hermitcraft episodes, and this is a slightly more fun way to do it. And also it gives me the opportunity to give you a bit of an update as to what's going on with me, both in Minecraft and also, you know, in life, and chat through some various bits and pieces. So I just thought I'd start off today by saying that today has been a very interesting day. It's actually the day after I recorded all of the clips for this video, and I mean, there was a point where I didn't actually think I was going to make it into the studio today because it's been beautiful weather in England, and I said to Vicky, my girlfriend, I was like, shall we take the campervan into the office today? You know, the campervan, I haven't actually driven it since I got back from the Philippines, and I really wanted to drive it, so I was like, oh, should we take the campervan? We drove it just down the road, probably got about 5 minutes away, and then as I went round the corner, it just cut out. It didn't even cut out. That makes it sound extreme. It kind of went and then just rolled. Now, thankfully, we were on a hill, so I was rolling down the hill and I was just consistently trying to bump start it, because a classic car, you know, it does this. I was thinking maybe we went round the corner and the fuel in the fuel tank just sloshed and starved the fuel pump, so I thought maybe if we kind of just bump start it back into life by rolling down the hill and then just popping it up and getting it started, that will work. No luck. And then I stopped up on the side of the road and just tried to do some regular starts where I was just pumping the throttle, and still nothing. So I popped out and took a look in the engine bay, and yeah, at first nothing looked like it was overly wrong, but then you could see the oil was dripping down, and it turns out that what happened was that my oil cooler had just, I don't know, I think a seal had blown on it, and it had just chucked oil all over the engine. Everything was covered. I think it's probably dumped out all of its oil, so we had no oil pressure. Still, I mean, okay, so there was still some oil in there. I'm not 100% certain why that would cause it to not start again. I would have thought it would start but just be not running very well and sound very mechanical and ticky. That doesn't sound like it's the case. It looks like it's just completely cut out. So maybe the oil has soaked into something or gone somewhere that it shouldn't have gone, which would obviously be a big problem. But yeah, we're going to be working on that. So obviously we got recovered. We had to sit on the side of the road for like 2.5 hours waiting for the recovery van. They took us 5 minutes back home, and then I made it back to the studio, which is fantastic. And then of course this is extra compiled in terms of the stressfulness factor by the fact that I think in about 4 days time, I'm fairly certain it's in about 4 days, I'm going to Boston. So as for those of you who saw the video that we released on Monday that I recorded with Cub, Iskal, Stress and Ren, we are all going to Boston because we are going to be taking part in the Minecon Earth 2018 panel. So we have a panel on Minecon Earth on the live stream, which is very exciting. It happened is working differently to how previous panels that we've done in the past, because obviously we've done Hermitcraft panels at previous actual like full-blown Minecons, the actual conventions, and obviously then you have an audience and everything like that. It turns out that this panel has no audience, it's all pre-recorded, and then it's going to be going into the live stream, which is going to be interesting. I've never really done anything like that before, but as I say, we're all going to Boston, and then we've got the meetup at, I believe it's the Boston Public Park. I think that's the name of it, by the George Washington statue. We'll have to go back to that video to see all the details. We're going to be doing a meetup at 2 p.m. there. And I'm extremely excited for that, but obviously need to get all my videos pre-recorded for that. And then come back from Boston. I have like 5 days, I think. 5 days back at home, and I'm off to Italy, to Tuscany, for a family wedding, which is very exciting. I've actually never been to a wedding before, so I've been trying to sort out my suits and everything over the past couple days, because it suddenly occurred to me, I don't own a suit. I don't have anything to wear to this wedding, and I'm a strange size, you know. I'm a bit of a strange human. I'm quite tall. I'm quite broad. I've got long legs, short torso, as we discussed in the episode of this gal. So I was like, oh my word, a suit's not gonna fit me. That like So we've been trying to work that out. So I've got myself a suit. We're getting it adjusted. It's all happening all within like this small week time frame. And then, of course, yeah, the campervan just dies on me on the way to the studio. So that's a life lesson in that classic cars are amazing. I absolutely love classic cars. Adore classic cars. I would only really own classic cars from this point forward because I just love them so much. But in times of need, you need a modern car. When you're under pressure and you need something to work every single time you turn it on, that's when a classic car isn't quite so useful. But then, as I say, things are still busy because when I return from Italy, I actually have the release of the Blackmagic design video that we've been working on, which obviously that's what took us to the Philippines. That's why we were there, and that project, in my opinion, went incredibly well. It was so amazing being able to film it in these environments, being able to film with the fishermen and going out on this tiny little fishing boat and being out in the ocean catching the fish and just seeing how differently these people live. It was absolutely amazing. It was everything that I wished it was, and it was so fantastic. I was so surprised because when we got, I was a little bit worried that by us coming in and filming, so they are actually family members, they're family members, but still, you know, when someone comes in and starts poking their camera around your daily life, most people would feel slightly maybe uncomfortable about that, but everyone was perfectly fine with it. And everyone was very happy to be on camera, but they act totally naturally. So I'm really happy with what we've managed to create, and Blackmagic seem to be happy at this point in time with what we've created. So it's all looking good. It's all looking good. I don't know when it's going to release, but I'll be sure to let everyone know when it does, because I'm very, very proud of this one. And as I say, that's going to be that we've got all the events and everything to do with that coming up on October the 10th. So these next kind of 20 days are some of the most jam-packed days of my entire life. And actually the past 20 days have been some of the most jam-packed days of my entire life. So really, I haven't caught a break for like 50 days. So I think by the end of it, I'm going to have some well-needed time off where I can put my feet up by a fire and just chill out. No, this is not happening. This is not happening. I am so straight out of here. There is no way I am letting Mr. Iskal tag me. I saw him come through the portal. Look at him. We're going to stay in the air for a while here. Anyway, I've just come back from my first mining session. The reason I've had to come home is because I've actually filled up all of my shulker boxes. I've managed to lose my boots, which is a little bit frustrating, but I would say we've actually done pretty well. So we have got this, we have got this, we have got this, which I can actually fill in with some more precious materials and also some more of my iron, because look how much iron we've managed to get. That's actually incredibly helpful. At least I thought it was more, and that's because we've also got this. So we have got, yeah, a decent amount. Anyway, we've got another mining session left to do, so I'm going to get myself some more torches. We need a handful more of those, and I'm going to get myself a handful more shulker boxes. And let's get back to it. Now in this second little section of the video, we're going to be taking a slightly more Minecraft focus, because I want to talk to you about my plans for my base, because I want to make it clear that this base is going to be expanding out from here, and I'm so excited to get started on it, because all of the builds are going to be completely organic and completely unique, and that's something that I'm super jazzed for, because obviously the main central storage system is an enormous build, and I think it's great. I really like it. I know that a lot of you really like it. There's still some refinement to do, as always, and with projects this massive, I mean, it takes time. I don't know how many hours I've invested into it, but it's probably in triple digits at this point. In fact, it's almost definitely in triple digits. So it's all kind of slowly coming together. But then all of the areas around it are kind of what I'm most excited about, because as I say, each little section is going to have its own unique build that is going to be reaching up to the sky. So that's kind of the plan, is that all of these builds are going to be set in the sea, all surrounding this island, and they're going to be extending upwards. So not too high, but there's going to be some that are higher than others, in the hope that it's kind of almost inspired. I flew into Hong Kong on the way back from the Philippines, and Hong Kong is an awesome place because you fly in and there's just all these buildings that just shoot up from the ground, and then there's mountains. It's like mountains and tall buildings, and it looks completely crazy, and I kind of want to recreate some of that basically with my base. But as I say, all of the different sections and segments are going to be unique, and I just thought I'd actually put out a bit of a kind of request and ask if anyone is interested in just coming up with some concept designs using a similar block palette to what we have going on with the central section, because it's all going to be in a similar block palette. All of it's going to be quite white and futuristic. If anyone wants to submit some designs, then please do. I'd love to see them. Send them to me via Twitter. Twitter's kind of like the main place that I keep my eyes on. So send them to me on Twitter, or if you want to, you can tag me in the posts on Instagram. I'll probably see that as well. That's probably the way to go. And I'd love to see what you guys can come up with, because I know that there's a lot of you out there who are considerably more talented than me when it comes to building things. Building things is never really my strong point. As you know, I struggle with it a little bit. I overthink things a lot, and yeah, I'm much more of like a Redstone logical person than a creative person when it comes to the building side of things. So I think a little bit of help would actually go a really long way. But also, you know, there's also plenty of other plans. I know that me and Grin have spoke about connecting up our bases. I think that's something that we'll probably do at some point using some form of super fast highway. I hadn't actually realized how crazy the dolphins are in Minecraft 1.13. You can create some insane transportation systems using dolphins in water. It's crazy. So we might have to experiment with that in a Redstone video and also on the Hermitcraft server, because that would be fantastic. But I also thought I'd ask, what would you like to see me build on the Hermitcraft server inside my base kind of structure? Because, you know, my plan at the minute is farms in typical fashion. You know, my mind instantly goes to farms. But if there's any other things that you'd like to see me see me work on and construct that maybe aren't so farming related, they could be technical, they can still be technical, but to put in the mix with all of these other builds that I'm constructing, that would be fantastic. That would help me out so much, because as I say, you know, I tend to take quite a logical approach. It's like, what do I need? I need farms, I need this, I need that, I need this and that, I need storage system, I need automated connecting up of the storage system, and then boom, we're done, we finished it. Whereas it would be nice to get some alternative opinions in there and ideas in there from the community of things that you would like to see me build in there, because I think that could turn it into a really, really special place. So anyway, I hope that you found that interesting. Let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server. So that, my friends, is that. We have got one full resource gathering mission completed, and I have to say, I think we did a pretty decent job. So if you take a look through, I mean, we have got stacks upon stacks of redstone. I should have laid these out in some form of order, but I think, okay, so this sort of arrangement here is all the precious items, and then these are the cobblestone. So we've got the cobblestone there, that's all filled up with cobblestone. Okay, so we've got a decent quantity of cobblestone, probably about, I don't know, 2.5 stacks, 2.5 shulker boxes. And then we have, okay, so we've got half a stack of diamonds there, a full stack of diamonds there, another almost half stack there, and then another almost half stack there. So I would say we probably have around about 2.5 stacks of diamonds. That's good going. Loads and loads of coal, a bunch of iron, which is kind of what we were doing this for. All in all, I feel like this has been massively beneficial. Like, this has been hugely beneficial to just spend a handful of hours just grinding through with my fortune pickaxe. This is the way that I'm going to mine from now on as well. Fortune pickaxe, so that it doesn't run out of durability as you're doing it, because of course you're mining precious things, so it's kind of repairing itself as it goes. and then carrying shulker boxes with you with a ton of torches, handful of firework rockets, enough food, and a bucket, and you are sorted. You can just mine infinitely. I actually had a little bit of trouble getting home from the last strip because it was so long. It took me like 10 minutes to actually walk the full strip, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. So there we go. Resource gathering done. I am now a lot less stressed out about the number of resources that I've got on the Hermitcraft server. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this little bonus episode of Hermitcraft. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.